Hi everybody. Well, it is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It is my Weight Watcher meeting day, and it was really a great meeting. I'm so thankful that I have accepted the fact that this is something that I have to do for the rest of my life. As long as God's willing to give me the ability to get to a meeting, I am going to be there every week. And this week was really a great week because it was all about reminders of, what's important with getting healthy and eating right and your thought process and keeping track of how you're eating and what you're eating and why you're eating. I mean, that's a big one. Am I hungry? Am I stress eating? And I'm going to share this again with you. I know I mentioned it on a prior video, but I had a stressful situation this week. It was more scary to me than stressful, because it involved my mom, and she opened the door and let herself out and took her walker out when I was gone. And then she went back in the house and she fell asleep in her TV room, and the door was wide open and I was gone, and that's dangerous. And she knows the rules, and she did it because she was kind of upset. But irregardless, I found myself in the middle of the pantry, just tearing open a bag of Oreos because I have those there for my granddaughter and anybody else who wants them. But I just stopped myself and thought, I was just so stressed out. And that's what I do. When I'm stressed out, I want to eat. So I made a substitution and grabbed a handful of nuts because I figured that was better than the Oreos, and got myself out of there and just had to go just get away and just blow off the steam. And, for me, that means I have to pray for patience too. But anyway, it's a good reminder that is a habit. That is a habit. That's something I have just acquired in my life for years and years and years. And just because I've lost the 50 pounds doesn't mean it's going to go away. It doesn't mean that habit stops. No, it is still there. And I have to remind myself, I have other things I can do except make myself sick by eating improperly. So today was a good lesson because even as I'm at the meeting, there's returning Weight Watcher lifetime members who haven't come to meetings in a while and have gained. And so when you're with a group of people that you are supporting and are supporting you every week, it's encouraging, it's very stimulating. And that's why I do these videos, because it helps me stay accountable. And also, I want to help others. So if you're on the fence, if you're thinking or contemplating, I need to do something, but it's too late, I can't change, it's too hard to teach an old dog new tricks. It's not. I'm an old dog, and you can teach me new tricks all the time. But what I'm going to do is attach a video that's going to follow this, and it's all about the foods that I have made sure I have available in my home during this time that I have gone through this journey. And I continue to have these foods and these particular drinks that really helped me get my health back on track. So I hope you'll enjoy that video, because I'm going to attach it to this and kind of combine the two as one. And this week I lost, I think it was 0.6 ounces, and that's good because I'm still on that little bit of losing, trying to get just a little bit further below my goal. And I've had a great week. I tried a couple of new recipes, really simple, easy, that I'll share with you in an upcoming video, and I think you'll like it. So until my next video, have to run into Target. Be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the foods and the drinks that helped me survive this last year on my Weight Watcher journey and my loss of 50 pounds. So if you're interested, I hope you'll stay tuned. If you're new, sure would appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button, give a thumbs up if you like the video. And to those of you who are my faithful returners, hello, I appreciate you so much, you have no idea. And first of all, let me start off by saying thank you all so much for the comments on my hair. I have to tell you, I do have a natural wave to my hair. It's not a pretty one because it just wants to do whatever it wants to do and not really leave a really pretty wave or just a nice little gentle curl at the end. This side waves, this side goes out to here, this side in the back stays half curled, half wave. The underneath side is totally wavy, so very inconsistent. And so I tried to combat the humidity here, and that's why I'm always spraying with Wow. I think it's good whether you blow your hair dry out straight or if you still want to wear your hair curly, because it is a humectant and cuts down on resisting that humidity. But I tried a new technique that I saw on a tutorial video from the Parisian farm girl, and it's kind of a spit curl method with your fingers, and you just kind of loop it into a circle, and then you take your flat iron and just grab it and hold it there with the heat coming from both the top and the bottom, and just let it go, and you get the nicest kind of waves and curls in the little body. And for those of you who like Texas big hair, I think I got some Texas big hair. So, but it's kind of nice for a change, and you've complimented how much you thought it looked nice, and so I appreciate that, and thank you so much. So it's nice for a little change. But anyways, that does nothing to do with how I survived this past year, but I do want to talk to you about these foods and drinks that I think helped my weight loss journey and helped me be successful, and I wouldn't want to do without them. So let's start with the drinks first. First of all, drinks. Well, I'm going to start right here. My black coffee. Black. Do I drink black coffee? Well, right now I am, because my first cup of coffee of the day has my flavored creamer in it. I don't use sugar. The flavored creamer of my choice that helped me survive, my daughter-in-law got me hooked on this, is the Coffee Mate Sweet Italian Cream. And it is sugar-free. I do not like any of those other creamers out there that are sugar-free. I think they have a horrid aftertaste. And for some reason, this creamer, I survived. And I can have 2 tablespoons for 1 point. So I usually have 1 tablespoon in my coffee. Now, if I feel like I can't just do all black, then the next, and I don't have it with me right here, is the almond milk. And I get the lowest calorie almond milk there is. I prefer the one from Sam's. I buy it at Sam's. It's got a really creamy texture to it, and the flavoring is so good. And I'll link the whole name below. It's just super good. It's great on my dry cereal. It's great in my oatmeal. I love it. And then I can have a whole cup of that. It's only 1 point. So when I'm just using a tablespoon here and a tablespoon there throughout the day, I'm not really adding that as a point because it's not the entire cup. But then there's days that I put it in my coffee when I just can't bear to do it black. And so you're probably asking, why am I doing it black? Because I'm trying to get used to drinking coffee black. Yeah. Why? I don't know. I guess I'm challenging myself. Can I do it? Because never before. I always said, oh, I'd rather not drink coffee if I have to drink it black. But guess what? No, I want my coffee. I need my coffee. And the next flavoring, I've tried all types of sparkling waters. I think that really helps you get your water down. If you're a great water lover and just can drink it, oh gosh, more power to you. I always start the day off with a big tumbler of ice cold water, and I do put about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Really good vinegar that has the mother in it. It's good for you. It does aid in your digestion, and I've been doing it for a long, long time, even before I started my weight loss journey. So I'll get that down, and then I have to have my coffee. And some of the flavoring of sparkling water, I don't care for. I've tried several flavors of the LaCroix, and to me it's very tinny tasting and just too flat. I don't like it. But I absolutely love this Pellegrino sparkling water. It's just really has helped me as of late, especially, to incorporate getting that water in, because sometimes I just am so sick of it. But I find that when I get something that I really like, and then if I can turn one of those big drinks into a really refreshing drink, I like to use the sugar fat-free syrups and coconut and this and a couple of frozen cherries, kind of, tapped up with a straw so the juices come out. It's just so good. It's so refreshing. Great. Helped me survive the weight loss journey. And next is this. This happens to be collagen, but this is bone broth. And bone broth in the refrigerator, once it's in the refrigerator, is really a thick broth, but it's so sustaining. And it doesn't matter, if it's hot or cold out, just a cup of it. If you're feeling hungry, if you're feeling like I've got to take the edge off, I've got to do something because I'm just getting that, little bit of anxiousness or nervousness, like I got to eat. I'm not supposed to eat right now, but a nice cup of this really is soothing. It is very flavorful. It's, got sodium in it, but again, you can have a cup of this and it's not any points. It's anything more that you accumulate in the day that you would have to add points if you had a couple of cups. At least, give yourself that 1 point, but so good. And the bone broth is really enriched. It's helped me survive and continues to help me on maintenance. Next, survival, as long as we're talking about dairy, are these two things. Now, these are things, guys, that what I'm talking about, I always have on hand, always have in the refrigerator, always have available. I don't want to be without because it's just a survival thing for me. Now, the coffee creamer, if I don't have it, okay, I'm not going to boo-hoo. I will use my almond milk or just drink it black because that's what I'm getting used to. But eggs. The start of the week, I usually do about 5, sometimes 6 hard-boiled eggs. I use those eggs throughout the week, not really in place of, like a breakfast, but I use them for on the go. I do hard-boiled. I use them on my salads, and I use them sometimes just as part of my snack. If I'm just wanting something with a little bit of protein and maybe have a couple of carrots and celery with some yogurt cheese and an egg, it's so satisfying, so filling, and it helps me when I'm hungry and I don't know what I want to eat. I reach for a hard-boiled egg, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Sometimes I grab just a tiny handful of cherry tomatoes, and sometimes I'll have those really good sweet cherry tomatoes, and I cut them in half and put salt and pepper on them with the egg, and it's perfect. It just takes that edge away. Next, as far as dairy, always in the refrigerator, at least 2 of these jugs because I use them that much. One is usually for my dessert that I prepare for the week, and the other is to mix with either I'm making 3 ingredient dough or I am using this as a filler. And when I say filler, this is what I mean. If you're a mayonnaise lover, a sour cream lover, and you just know I can't do that low fat stuff, I can't do that no fat stuff, it just doesn't taste right to me. If you add a tablespoon of this Fage, and I believe Fage yogurt is the best yogurt that's out there on the market. It's just plain, it's 0% milk fat, and the flavoring of it is not that bitter. It's really creamy, it's thick, and it has a really good flavor. I never thought I would get used to eating plain yogurt. But if I'm making a chicken salad or a tuna salad and I want just that little bit of mayonnaise taste, that tang, I'll add maybe a couple of teaspoons of real mayonnaise or a tablespoon, and then add a tablespoon or two of the yogurt mixed in it. You can't tell. It doesn't overtake the mayonnaise. The mayonnaise just becomes fuller bodied, but it is good. If you love baked potatoes, some people just can put it straight on their potatoes. I like to mix mine with Daisy sour cream. It's my favorite. I'm a sour cream queen. I can have sour cream sandwiches. I could eat sour cream just on chips or crackers because I love sour cream. So when I have a baked potato, if I'm going like full-blown sweet potato, baked potato, and I cut it in half and I'm having that half, oh, it's going to be good every single bite. And I will take this and mix it with real Daisy sour cream. Sometimes I get the light, but most times just the regular. I do it and I count it as my points, and it has helped me survive this weight loss journey. I'm not kidding. It's a great thing. And next, as far as, like meats, breakfast meats, I'm not like too big on like sausages and things like that. I do like Canadian bacon. I think for Canadian bacon, you get 3 slices for 1 point. You can't beat it. You can chop it up, put it in your scrambled eggs, make an omelet with it, or even if you're using thin bagels or, your favorite toast in the morning, I like to just, in a pan, just heat up like the Canadian bacon till it gets browned and a little bit crisp, put it on my toast, add some avocados chopped up to it, maybe a hard-boiled egg that I've hard-boiled for the week, chop that up, and that's my breakfast. Super good. But something else that I found along the way that I think my son and daughter-in-law introduced me to is the Black Label Bacon microwave ready. Don't turn your nose up to it until you try it, because I did the same thing. Oh, please. I'm just not a microwave person, But this is how it comes. 4 slices in a pack. And for me, that's perfect, because if I eat 1 or 2 slices for a meal, for either a lunch or a breakfast, then I have 2 more left over. Somebody else will always eat it. Or I just crumble it up on a salad. Maybe the next day. 3 minutes in the microwave, in the plastic, it comes out perfect. It's crispy. It tastes so good. And this is something that I have used throughout my weight loss journey. And I just think it's one of those things. It's not because, I have to have bacon, but it's so nice just to have, a slice of bacon and know that I can have it for low points and do it quickly and have some available in the fridge. So love that. That's been something that's really been a great survivor for me. And as far as dairy, Kraft, natural cheese, the fat-free. I get the mozzarella and I get the cheddar. I know some people turn their nose up to it and say, yuck, I'd rather just forget it, count the points, have regular cheese, but it's so much higher in fat and calories. This melts great. And I'll tell you what I do. Well, I don't want to skip around here because otherwise I'm going to miss something. For myself, I can have 1/4 of a cup of this shredded cheese, whether it's mozzarella or the cheddar. I can take 2 eggs, scramble them up, and this is also what I have in the house all the time, are egg whites and egg beaters. I use the egg beaters a lot for my mom because she doesn't really want to have like 2 eggs. She wants just 1 egg, but to scramble 1 egg, there's like nothing. So if I add the egg whites to it, it fluffs it up, and she's fine with that. But I use a lot of egg whites. I'll sometimes get some cod, plain cod, and from the freezer section, thawed out, and then I put it in the egg whites, and then maybe just lightly touch it into some almond flour, or sometimes just panko breadcrumbs very lightly, and then I just air fry it. So this is a lifesaver. And you can have a quarter of a cup, 0 points, because it's an egg type product. So I like these things along the dairy end of it. And the next thing is this is Soho. It's like cocoa whip, and it's coconut whip topping. It's so good. 2 tablespoons, 1 point. I add this to my Fage yogurt, and I do this a couple of different ways. One of the things that I make routinely all week long and have it in the fridge, it's my go-to dessert, is 1 whole big, this is 35.3 ounces of the yogurt, Fage, and then my favorites, the Jello pistachio or the cheesecake flavoring, sugar-free. I will take, this is my favorite, and I will dump the whole package into here. Now, if you want to do this individually, you can scoop out a cup of the yogurt and a tablespoon of your pudding. I do it for the whole week. Put it in there, mix it all up, get it all well incorporated. Then I take a can of pineapple tidbits and drain it from all the juice, and a can of Mandarin oranges that are in water, drain all the juice out, and then I add those two to my bowl with the yogurt mix in it, and just chill it. Put it into a Tupperware or a bowl with a nice tight fitting lid, and then when I'm ready to have some dessert, I scoop out a nice big heaping serving of it. It's protein, it's yogurt, and the only thing I count on it is 1 point if I'm just having it right out of the bowl like that. Now, if I add a couple tablespoons of Cool Whip or the birthday cake Cool Whip, ooh, that's out now, so yummy, to my yogurt mix and the fruit, and then I put maybe a tablespoon of chopped pistachios on top, then I add that extra point for that, whatever I'm doing. But just to have it out of a big mix container, I give myself 1 point. And that 1 point is basically for the Jello mix. If I add the pistachio nuts on top and 1 tablespoon of the Cool Whip, then I give myself another point, because I'm only having a couple of small amounts of pistachios that I mix in it. It is just so good. So anytime you can mix yogurt with something higher in fat, it's going to cut down the caloric intake, and it is going to taste delicious. So, and this brand, I can't say enough about it. It is wonderful. Next, what's in my house all the time and I can't do without is fruit. An assortment of fruit. Pick what you like. Pick what you know you're going to eat. Apples, oranges, strawberries for me are always in the house, along with blueberries. It's what we eat all the time, and I do give myself at least 2 healthy servings of fruit every day, sometimes 3. You just got to kind of balance, because you want to, not go too carb heavy. Next, that helped me survive on my journey, just to, let's say, bring some joy to the food or just spark things up, is Everything But The Bagel Sesame Seed Blend. Now, I get this, you can get this at Trader Joe's. I get this on Amazon. I've tried the Walmart mix. It isn't tasting the same as this. This has a very nice toasted, roasted flavoring. I love it. I will put this on a piece of toast with maybe just some reduced fat cream cheese that I always have in the refrigerator. That's another thing that helped me survive. Mix this, sprinkle this on top. I also make yogurt cheese. I've done that in a video before. I've showed you how I strain it in cheesecloth. Let it sit in the refrigerator in that cheesecloth and drip into a big bowl with just some weight on top of it, just to press it down so that all of that whey will come out. And Then I take it out of the cheesecloth and mix the seasoning mix into it. A couple of times I've actually done this and mixed it right into the yogurt and then put it in the cheesecloth and strain it out. That's really good. I mean, same effect, but it's whether you're doing it before or after. And you get the best yogurt cheese. Yogurt cheese that is delicious on crackers, thin bagels, your thin bread, or your 3-ingredient bread that you make. It's just yogurt cheese, so good. I usually always have that in the refrigerator. Another vegetables, always carrots, lettuce, celery, always in the refrigerator, usually chopped up, and I use refrigerator bags to keep my produce to last longer. Saves me for that time where I've got to have something, I've got to have a crunch, I've got to just eat something because I'm feeling that way, and maybe it's just I'm going to eat something, I'm not really hungry, but I'm having a stressful day and I'm just, cleaned celery, cleaned carrots, and some fresh yogurt cheese. Oh, with this on it, and garlic powder and onion salt or whatever you want to season it with. It is so good, and it takes the edge away, and it just tastes so great. It tastes good. That's the whole key, guys. You got to have food that tastes good. Who wants to eat food that's just always over processed and you get like this amount? It's not satisfying you. Or you're eating foods that just have all kinds of terrible ingredients in it and not good for you. But yogurt, to make your own yogurt cheese, so good. Another thing that helped me survive this journey is this extreme wellness wraps, and these are high fiber. 8 tortillas come in a package, 1 point for each of those. Look how big they are. They are good. These are so good. So if I make 2 stuffed tacos, you bet I'm stuffing it. Lettuce, my cheese, my turkey meat, and I usually always get as lean as I can on the turkey meat, chopped up onion, chopped up tomato, and that tablespoon of sour cream with some taco sauce on it. Roll it up, and then I sometimes put it in the air fryer to crisp it up. It just depends how I want to eat it. 2 of them, I'm stuffed. I am stuffed to the brim. I always have this. I do my eggs and I make egg wraps. I'll chop up the bacon, the eggs, peppers, mushrooms, and make a really nice big roll and a wrap. It's so good, so good. And the other, it's not as much of a favorite as my extreme wellness wraps here. But these are good. These are Joseph Lavash bread, and some of you are really familiar with it. I like to eat this, believe it or not, if I'm having things like lentils and sometimes I make a mix of just cook up some turkey meat, and I put all kinds of exotic spices in it, like turmeric and lots of garlic, and chop up green and red pepper and onions, and just mix it all up into the turkey meat, and then just flavor it that way. And then I'll either open a can of like white beans, navy beans, or sometimes I'll just have some lentils with it and mix it all up, and then eat the lavage bread with it and just tear off a piece and scoop it up. It's good. It's good. And it's something different. And I think that's important when you're on this journey, is that you're going to challenge yourself to try things that you never expected you would get used to, and that you're going to just say, I'll try it and see how it turns out. And I also make this Lavash crackers. I'll take half of this. Now, one of these whole pieces is 2 points. So if you cut it in half, it's 1 point. And I make these crackers in the oven that have either this seasoning mix on it, or I come up with my own seasoning mix and cut them into little squares, and then that whole half is just some crunchy cracker squares. So, you know, you do have to be creative, guys. You have to give yourself an allowance, and you have to just challenge yourself. What I've learned on this journey is that there are foods out there that I have turned my nose up to for a long, long time, and now I crave. Number one being salmon. You know, don't even, first time I opened a can of salmon, I think I've told you all, I fed it to the cat. I thought it was spoiled. Something is wrong with this. Now, I still don't like opening salmon from a can, but I love to go and order like cedar plank salmon. I crave it. Oh, I haven't had salmon this week. I need to have some salmon. I've even bought it at Sam's so I can make it for myself at home. That's a big accomplishment. I'm drinking black coffee, guys. I'm challenging myself. I don't always have to have the flavoring in. I love it, but I'm learning. I don't have to. So I'm learning that and look, I know I'm not one of those, health gurus that just like, oh, you shouldn't use the processed stuff with all the, sweetening stuff that cuts down on this or that. But there are certain things that I won't compromise, like butter. I use unsalted real butter. I don't have margarine in the house. I think that's loaded with a bunch of stuff, and I'd rather have that little amount of butter. And so I'm telling you, a scant amount of butter in a pan to scramble an egg is all you need. Just a scant amount. I don't use as much butter as I would use margarine. I mean, it's just the way it is. And I've challenged myself to try things that I would have turned my nose up to before in the past. So I hope you enjoyed this. These are just some of the foods and drinks that I've had along my way on my journey, and it has helped me lose the 50 pounds, and now we're working on keeping it off. And so until my next video, be kind, be humble, age gracefully. Bye. It's cold now.